Hello friends and adventurers, and welcome back to Sally Cat Plays Exile 3, Ruined World. It's time to continue circumnavigating the Isle of Beil. A pleasant forested island, except for all the roaches. A band of roaches catches up with you and attacks. Looking back where they came from, you see a trail of devastation. Torn up plants, gnawed off tree bark, dead small animals. These things seem to be programmed to destroy everything, no matter what. Considerably worse than real-life roaches, which are already bad enough. Okay, so we've got giant roaches and mung roaches. How many of you do I have in my bestiary? Do I have any of you in my bestiary? I might have to fix that. Mung roach is basically just a tougher roach who is poison resistant and has a good chance of poisoning me. Giant roach is horrifying and can cause disease. Bleh, that's a lot of poison. It is time to kill you with fire. Fireballs for everyone! And I need to remember sometimes that Connie also has priest spells. Not a lot of spell points, but enough to do a couple of useful things. Okay, can't get through the mountains that way. Can explore this way. A large group of giant, nasty cockroaches is standing on the path ahead of you. They are clearly standing guard, waiting to make the first move. This is distinctly un-roach-like behavior. There you are. That is a lot of roaches. Okay, so mung roach and large roach share a graphic. Some of them will poison me, some of them will cause mild disease. Lovely. Like so! And of course, being roaches, they don't drop any loot. Boo. You dispatch the last of the filthy little vermin, and take care to give your weapon blades a good, thorough cleaning. And drop a save. Another band of roaches stands guard ahead. There are less of them this time, but they're considerably larger and nastier looking than the last lot. As before, they just stand there, hissing softly and waiting. I know I already got the mung roaches and giant roaches in my bestiary, so not as much interesting to show in that fight. Although Amethyst is dumbfounded by disease, which is always hilarious when it happens to a warrior. You defeat another band of the creatures, and give your weapons yet another, even more thorough cleaning. Some of those roaches have been of the exceptionally filthy variety. And we are on the wonderfully named Roach Beach, a lovely vacation spot. This hilly area looks completely ordinary and uninteresting. However, you are sure that you hear the distant hissing of giant roaches. Lots and lots of giant roaches. You look around, but can't find where the hissing is coming from. Odd. Odd indeed. And given that Stephen currently has 6 spell points, I'm gonna take a rest. So, there is pretty definitely something roach-related in that area. Also, had I gone to the slime pit before going to the agate tower with Jordan, I would have gotten a similar message there. Okay, that's just an odd little empty spot. You meet a patrol of Empire soldiers, patrolling out of Shayder. They warn you to be sure to clean up your trash, and to stay away from the city if you start showing signs of disease. You say you will, and they move on. Uh-oh. I'm showing signs of disease. Should I stay out of Shayder? Nah, it'll be fine. Hector to the north. Some settlers have laboriously hacked out an open area in the thick woods of the Isle of Beil, and are growing a few plots of unhealthy-looking crops. Their farmhouses are grouped nearby. There are piles of ash all around, where they burned their trash so the roaches couldn't get it. However, you don't see smoke rising from their chimneys. Approach. As you approach, several of the farmers come out to greet you. They all wear the rings that mark them as members of the Anama Church. When they see you lack the rings, they are cordial but cold. Seeing nothing is to be gained here, you move on. Yeah, the Anama don't much care for outsiders. Same message there. Anyway, Shayder, let's do it. You stride into the city of Shayder, relieved that nobody seems inclined to attack you at the moment. It's a beautiful city, all clean buildings, elegant architecture, and carefully tended lawns and gardens. Something, however, is not right. The city is too still. There are few people in the streets, and they avoid each other. Everyone takes great pains not to get too close to anyone else. Everything is way too quiet for such a large city. Strangest of all, however, is the smell. It's the smell of rotting flesh, smoke, and a host of other unnerving elements, which seem to stick to your clothes, your hair, and the inside of your nose. You have reached the city of Shayder, and it is clear that all is not well with the world. Yeah, that sounds even worse than COVID-19 lockdowns. At least that didn't have the smell. You meet a beggar. The ravages of disease are clear on him. He can barely move, but still manages an air of grim dignity. He wears a dirty Anama ring. "My name is Spud," he rasps. "I was a farmer. I lost my wife and my health to disease. I ask for a minor gift to feed me while I regain my strength. The disease tore me apart. I survived, but it shredded my insides. That is why I must beg for gifts while I recover." You give Spud a few coins. He bows deeply, which is a great effort for him. "Thank you for your kindness. I shall not forget you." He looks wistful. One day, I will be a parasite no longer. Oh, what I would give to be able to do a little bit of honest farm work. Parasite? Dude, you're sick. You're recovering. A difficult enough job, considering the rocky soil, without the plague. You have found a section of Shayder that, for some reason, was walled off and abandoned. The walls are crumbling and clearly substandard. These are probably the remains of an older part of town, abandoned and walled off for safety's sake. I still need to go back and get Move Mountains. Still need to look out for roaches. Can't leave oh, fine. As I was saying, I still need to get several hundred more gold and then go back and pick up Move Mountains. Okay, so I found the one interesting thing on the outer edge of Shayder. A rather nice town square, and a heavily armored soldier. You meet a muscular soldier patrolling the streets of the city. Her soldier's armor has the marks of an Empire dervish, the title the Empire gives to its strongest, craftiest warriors. When she sees you, she removes her helm and approaches. I'm Dervish Cassie. She regards at you with extreme antipathy. I'm patrolling for roaches. She stares at you pointedly. And other vermin. I served in the war with the Exile worms. I've heard of you, and the people of Valorum may tolerate you, but I know what you exiles have done. She spits at your feet. All these monsters came from you. I know it. And don't get smug. Everyone knows exiles are among us, and by now, the Empire knows too. Believe me, whatever you're doing, you'll pay for it. 1,000 times over. She turns away. Here's someone potentially more pleasant. You meet a tall, thin man with dark hair. He carries a polished wood case and portable stand. When you approach, he sets up the stand and opens the case, revealing an assortment of potions. I am Bowman. I sell potions. No respectable Anama member should be without one. I make these potions using only natural ingredients and alchemical processes, without use of a single magical spell. You may purchase them if you wish. He suddenly starts to cough severely. When he straightens up, he says, Excuse me. I think I'm starting to become a touch ill. As I was about to say, you may purchase potions from me if you wish. So, weak, medium... Pretty good selection here, actually. We don't use magic, but that doesn't mean we're fools. We use all other resources we can find, including the natural plants that come from the earth. Oh, that makes sense. This building was used for something recently. It has only just been cleaned out. There are only a few bits of litter left behind. There's also an odd smell. Why do I feel like I'm not going to like what's behind this door? Just roaches. Just roaches and garbage. Sarah the Mage. Spells. Identification. Reasonable rates. You meet someone unusual in Anama lands. A woman wearing mage robes, and doing so unapologetically. She nods in greeting. I am Sarah. I'm a mage. I study the magical arts and provide training in the same. I even dabble in identification a bit. And believe me, between the roaches and the Anama, these are not stress-free occupations. I know little about it. The Anama tell me nothing, and I rarely go out with all the sickness. She thinks. Though I do know someone who might be able to help. He's quite wise. Arkley, the librarian, is wise and knows an awful lot. You should be sure to speak with him. He's in the library to the north. Yay, I love libraries. I care not what they say. Magic, despite its drawbacks, is a great force for good. And no matter what they do, this is home, and here I will remain. The ignorant fools. She thinks a moment. Of course, I have met a wise Anama member, believe it or not. Yeah, Arkley the librarian. So, I am quite capable of teaching several valuable spells. If you wish to purchase one, let me know. Oh, yes, very interested. Okay. Garnet is my primary mage, and these are not a lot of spells, but also not a whole lot of gold for them. Pretty sure I already know Ice Bolt. Slow Group I definitely want. I could pick up Poison, but I'm not going to use it that much. And I do have Minor Poison and Venom Arrows, which are almost as good. Wall of Ice. Can't afford it, and even if I could, it's only occasionally useful. But I got Slow Group. I really wanted that one. Don't mind me, Mr. Anama member. I'm just magically unlocking some doors. Knight of the Bloodfang. That's not what I was expecting. By Q. King Esquire. Chad Hardslab, who had recently and through many years of brave fighting and hardship been declared a dervish of the mighty Empire army, looked out over the veldt. "Tonight," he boomed, "tonight, in a bloody, detailed way, those foul Nephilim scum will pay for killing my mother, father, brother, grandmother, other brother, first love, sister, second love, and teacher." He drew his swords and strode forth. Well, that sounds fun. I see robes. But it looks like Sarah lives in the next apartment down. But I guess priests can wear robes also. Ooh, a chest. I don't feel like being a thief right now. There it is. Well, there she is. It's Judith again! Also, Judith does know about a certain artifact, but I haven't been told the actual keyword to ask about yet. And who are you hiding in the trees? A thin man with running sores on his face moves up to beg from you. He's a pathetic sight. He coughs. I'm called Sick Boy. Imagine that. I just wander and survive as best I can. Give me a few coins? I'll tell you what I know. He accepts the coins gladly. Thanks, friends. By the way, keep an eye out for Judith. She's a healer who goes from town to town. I heard her say once she knows about some ancient artifact. Ask her. Oh, apparently the keyword is in fact artifact. just saw her. So I know, I know she's in town, so she won't leave while I'm here, I'm pretty sure. So, there was another guy I saw just now. Fine. Based on the character sprite, it's probably Vlad the Light Salesman. He wanders around the major towns and sells torches. What's in here? A crumbling stairway leads down to what your nose tells you can only be a sewer. You think you hear a soft hissing noise from below. Go down? Okay, I can go down here, in fact. Beware, dangerous sewers. Trained sanitation workers only beyond this point, by Order 789 AFD12. The walkway here has crumbled into the water. You can't go any farther this way. And there's a boat right on the other side of the gap. It taunts me. And there's a bunch of roaches. Maybe it would have been better to have someone fireball capable standing in the middle here. That was a good flame spell. Hello? You're guarding a whole 19 gold pieces. How about that? Okay, I could explore more down here, but I want this to be more of a town exploration rather than a combat episode. Forgot I could enter the sewers from this end of town. Librarian of Shayder, Librarian Arkley. You meet a withered, tired-looking man in long robes. When you approach, he is studying diagrams with illustrations of cockroaches on them. I am Arkley, greeting to you. I am the Librarian of Shayder, and one of the Keepers of Knowledge for the Anama Church. Others can describe the beliefs of the Anama better than I. I am mainly concerned with the simple practical maintenance of our library. Perhaps you would be more interested in hearing about my research. My current research is critical. I am trying to find ways to deal with the cockroaches that plague us. I am having little luck, but I have found a few leads. Well, I have heard that there are intelligent spiders on this island. What? It's odd, but they may be able to help. Also, I know of a mage named Pergatos, who I suspect will be an aid. Yes, intelligent, friendly spiders. They live near the town of Bavner. Something this bizarre cannot help but be a help to us. To help find Bavner, by the way, you can purchase maps of the Isle of Beil from me. He takes your gold and gives you neatly drawn maps. Thank you, he says. This will feed me well while I do my research. Yay, map. And it looks like it didn't cost that much gold. I know it is problematical for an Anama member to send one to a mage, but just between you and me, we are not yet strong enough to handle the roaches on our own. Purgatos lives in the ruined town of Nice. I believe you can find a ferry there in the town of Cooper. Okay. He waves at the shelves of books surrounding you. The Anima dislike magic, but are great believers in knowledge. Ahonar himself commissioned me to do a bit of very important research. Okay. So we've got Faith of the Anima by Ahonar. Magic. It is the lifeblood of our society. We defend with it, build with it, work with it, rely on it, use it to develop and enrich every aspect of our lives. Or do we? Magic does some good, but also does much evil. The common nature of magic puts power into the hands of all. The cruel, the deranged, the exiles. In this book, I explain our faith, which seeks inner peace through the control of this wild power. Yes, how dare those exiles use all the magic. Magic which in many cases is necessary to survive down in the caves. Sisters of Mercy Hospital. You meet a very tired and overworked man. He has the look of someone who's been up for days straight. He wears a mask over his mouth, and often wipes his sweaty brow. You notice he wears an Anama ring. He speaks with you while grinding up some healing herbs. I'm just called Jed. Sorry if I can't give you my full attention. He applies a poultice to a sick woman's forehead. I'm Shayder's healer. It's a terrible task, as you can probably tell. It's the roaches, of course. They're a plague-causing nightmare. If it wasn't for the Anima, there would be many, many more deaths. The Anima have been working non-stop to heal the diseased, Anima or not. He smiles. I am proud to be a member. And I can buy pretty cheap healing here. But I'm still not going to pay for healing damage or dumbfounding. Speaking of which, might as well. Oh, I can actually talk to the plague victims. Kinda. A victim of one of the many roach diseases lies before you, dripping with sweat. Your answer is a long, low moan. The plague victim hacks painfully and whispers, "Water." You bring the plague victim some water. You are thanked in a weak, croaking voice. And herb storage here. Nothing interesting there. Looks like commercial district here. Shayder Bazaar. With identical weapon and other vendor. This man is well built and dangerous looking. His face has a dark, ferrety look to it, and he seems quite at home among all the weapons. "I'm Begbie," he says. You can't quite place his accent. I have read that many of the NPCs in Shayder are named after characters from the movie Trainspotting. I've never seen the movie, but if you have, you can probably imagine this guy's accent better than I can. "I got weapons, you daft sod. What else would I got? I run this shop with my mate Renton. Also, if you want to sell something, I'm your man." I believe I'm going for some sort of Scottish accent. I'm not sure if it's working. Okay, so bronze weapons. Some iron weapons. Not today. I should check and see if I have anything I need to sell. Actually, do you have any other dialogue? Renton, across the way. Fine armors of all sorts he got. The man behind the counter is tall and thin, and has very short hair. He wears an Anama ring. I'm Renton. Oh, just trying to rebuild my life, you know. So I run this shop here. You can purchase armor here, finest quality, brought down from Beil. To the northeast, hundreds and hundreds of miles away. They make the finest armor in Valorum up there, and I got a bunch of it shipped here. You won't see its like anywhere for miles and miles. I'd rather not talk about it. Let's just say I got into the magic a little far, and was going funny in the head. The Anama helped me to a point where I could walk upright, and wasn't seeing stuff that wasn't there. Things aren't as interesting running a shop, but at least I'm sane, you know? So he says he's got finest armor from Gale, and yet I see crude large shield, which it does block a fair bit of damage, but isn't that great. You meet a young woman with long brown hair and a winning smile. She's very small, but wields a big cleaver. There's plenty of food behind the counter, and the place smells delicious. Probably better than the rest of town. I'm Ripple. Welcome to my shop. Most of the time I sell food, you know. The rest of the time I keep busy. She holds up her hand, and you see an Anama ring. She shows you the ring, a delicate silver band. I used to live in Sharamik, but I came here to join the Anama. You know I've never trusted those mages. How could you trust them? All mightier than you, clustering in their towers, doing their secret rites, making plagues and weird creatures and stuff. I tell you, that's something we could all do without. Ah, but it's so much fun being mightier than thou. Also, I think there's a Ripple in Darman back in Exile, maybe? Possibly Almeria? One of those. Shayder City Hall. Hello, I should probably talk to you. A wrinkled and weary woman shuffles papers at the end of the table. She looks up at you with the air of a bureaucrat, and with the sense of having become accustomed to the pointlessness of her existence. I am Mayor Bernathi. Welcome to Shayder. I am the mayor of the beautiful city of Shayder, placed by the Empire as a guardian. For what all that is worth, which is little. I control so little. The guards listen to me sometimes, but not always. Day-to-day issues are run by Ahonar, High Priest of the Anama. I push papers and send reports to the Empire, which they ignore. I'm worthless here. Period. I won't tell you what rubbish they spout. You'll hear enough of it. But most everyone on the island follows them, and only listen to me when they say so. But they can't handle the roaches, and I have the Empire's authority to give a quest. She looks disturbed. I've served the Empire loyally for most of my life. I ask myself again and again, why did they send me out here to the wilderness to a post where I would be all but ignored? And then... She shakes her head. And then, when we most need their help, they ignore us. I am worthless here. One bit of authority remains to me. The Empire gave me the ability to give adventurers a quest, if necessary. Here it is. Slay the cockroaches. Rid the island of them. Save these people, before diseases kill them all. She coughs delicately into her hand. Do this, and return to me, and I will reward you well. Please hurry, and good luck to you. She coughs. She doesn't look well. I was hand-picked by the Empire to come out here and try to run this place. Of course, the Anama really run everything. Things I say are basically ignored. Plus, of course, nobody expected the roaches. She wipes her running nose. They bring disease. Everyone is dying. The crops are being eaten. She grins evilly. And the Anama can't handle it. About the only authority I have is to give a mission to someone who could handle it. The source of the roaches has still not been found. Forge onward. Speak with the people of Shayder. It is possible that some of them may have insights into the source of the insect hordes. And so far it is not the Anima loyalists. This bookshelf is still mostly empty, waiting to be filled with useless forms nobody will ever care about. The only thing you find is a scroll tube, dusty and forgotten. Okay then. The Empire requires the bureaucrats of Shayder to fill out many forms. Once they're filled up, they end up here. It's hard to imagine them being useful to anyone, let alone you. What luck I got the scroll tube on the first try. Shayder Job Dispatcher. Adventurers welcome. Work available. You meet a short, fidgety accountant type with a heavily chewed pencil behind his ear. He nods in greeting. I'm Grunters. A lovely day to you. Oh, I run a variety of business operations. I'm the main jobs dispatcher for Shayder, and I'm also an accomplished reseller. Good occupations, thanks to the roaches. Well, with the monsters everywhere, the normal supply lines are gone, so small-time couriers and treasure hunters are what's needed today, and I work with them. I'm getting rich, I tell you. Pity about the dead, though. His sincerity is unconvincing. Thanks to all the monsters everywhere, supplies are always short. You can sell me pretty much anything you want. Bit funny to have a sell anything to him guy right here when I think the weapons guy can also buy all my stuff. Whatever. The only job currently available is rush delivery. We need someone to deliver orders from the Empire to Ilsa in the city of Pergis in Krizan province within 4 days. Time is of the essence. Pay it 620 gold. I could probably make that in 4 days. May come back to that. This man has the earrings of a sailor who has been over many seas and to many lands. There's something very unusual about him. He wears an Anama ring. Which is not unusual in these parts, but apparently is somewhat unusual for a sailor to be wearing one. Greetings to you. My name is Beil. He's unusually friendly for a sailor. I sail the seas, a very difficult calling of late. For some time now I have been stranded on this isle. While I am trapped here until I can find a ship to take me home, my time here has not been a loss. I have gained a purpose in my life and much tranquility through the teachings of the Anama. I once even carried a wand to defend myself. Now it is no more. I have weaker defenses, but more peace. The Anama taught me that a sword to use against others is of only limited use when the others have more swords than you. That is why I no longer use or will support the use of magic. To show my loyalty, I took a wand I had carried for defense for many years, and threw it through a grate into the sewers, where I hope it lies still. He looks very proud of this. His eyes get a faraway look. Oh, the wondrous sights I have seen. I hope someday I shall not be stranded, and can see them again. And, of course, carry the word to other lands. Of course. So if we go back down into the sewers, we may just find a nifty wand. Thought I saw someone else wandering around, but it was just a guard. I do sometimes miss the generic guard conversations. But I understand that Jeff had quite enough NPCs to write dialogue for already in this huge game. These must be sailors' quarters. Only sailors are generally capable of making living quarters so cramped, grit-encrusted, and smelly. And here's Spud again. You break into these cramped, ill-smelling living quarters. Among the dirty clothes and bits of trash, you see several extremely unsavory-looking characters. They react to your breaking into their home with annoyance. Oops. Crap, they've learned how to open doors. But it looks like the guards don't like them either. Looks like the guard is quite effective at taking them out. You're gonna cast a summoning spell right in the middle of the Anama capital city. Even I'm not that rude. By which I mean nobody mention all the unlocking doors I've been doing. And that is why I don't like ticking off the town guards. So, hooray, we have done a service for the good city of Shayder, probably. Door already unlocked. So, you think this is loot belonging to the bandits? It's just a chest. Okay. Meh. Disappointing. Okay, so yes, part of the city that's been walled off. I was right, it's Vlad the Light Salesman! I read his lines way back in Krizan. Ferry to Marish at end of dock. That's right, I did just get a map. So we've been to Fenris Port, North Point Lighthouse, Hektar, and Shayder. Marish is the end of this little peninsula over here. And I've yet to explore Port Townsend, Bavner, Cooper, Nice, and South Point Lighthouse. Island is shaped like a backwards comma. Beil again. Ha! At the end of the dock is a ferry, ready to take you to the town of Marish, to the north on the mainland, for the very reasonable rate of 10 gold. Take the trip? Not today. Okay, pretty standard warehouses. Not quite so standard warehouse. What is a magic barrier doing in the town that doesn't like mages? Also, I have no way of getting through that right now. Phooey. Also, I haven't seen Judith around again yet. I hope I meet her by the end of the episode. The tattoos and weathered skin on this woman mark her as one who's seen a lot of the sea. She cleans off the bar's counter with a dirty rag and a calloused hand. I'm Mickey. You gonna just gab or you gonna get a drink? Well, for fine out-of-towners like yourself, we have the luxury suite. Only 10 gold. Plus, we have a fine amber ale on tap. You gents can purchase that for only 6 gold. She serves up the unpleasant-tasting, watered-down yellowish fluid. Sorry we can't get anything better. The Anama make beer, but keep it all to themselves. She thinks. Of course, I do have a little bit of stronger stuff. Only 10 gold. She serves up some incredibly strong and intensely nasty grog. As you force it down, she says, "By the way, want to be let in on a little secret? Only 20 gold. She leans close. You look like people who do a little traveling and are comfortable with your weapons. Irvine over there in the corner is looking for people like you. Go ask him about shipping." So noted. But first, more breaking and entering. A sleepy-looking man sits hunched over in the corner, nursing a mug of really nasty-smelling drink. He doesn't look like he wants to talk to you. "Irvine, I'm enjoying my privacy." "Yes, privacy. That's when you don't get bothered by every loser adventurer who walks into the bar. Good day." Mm-hmm. You certainly seem like someone I want to have dealings with. He grins. Excellent, another courier. He takes a pull from his beer and continues. One of the lesser-known crops of this isle is a certain herb, which, when chewed, provides great release from the suffering of life. There is a package of this herb in a chest in a room to the south. Get it, and take it to Kendra in the city of Lorelei, and you will be well rewarded. I bet if we go inspect that chest again, we'll find something interesting. You find the chest Irvine told you about. Sure enough, there's a small parcel inside, tightly wrapped in twine. You pick up the package. It's small and filled with some sort of densely packed leaves. The package has an odd, musty smell. You bury it deep within your pack and move on. Suspicious package. You are supposed to take this package of musty-smelling, mind-altering leaves to Kendra in Lorelei. They're quite illegal. You were warned to be careful about where you took them. Yes, drug smuggling, certainly a thing for fine upstanding adventurers to be involved in. You smell sulfur, and small sparks fly from the ground. As you back away, you hear a soft voice say, "Anama members only in this area. Please back away. Thank you for your cooperation." But yes, at last, the main highlight of the town of Shayder. Temple of the Anama. All who welcome wisdom have a home here. Offices, waiting room, reading room, visitors welcome. And big old temple. You stand before the main altar of the Anama faith. Whatever one's view on their philosophy, it's hard not to be impressed by the size, intricate carving, and warm, energetic glow of the altar. It's tempting to stop and pay respects. Pray? You kneel and pray. The altar seems unimpressed. Possibly would give some actual benefit if we were Anama members. The Anama have set up a polished hardwood box here, ready for tithes. There are no coins in it at the moment. Throw a few in? Sure, I'll try that. You put a few coins in the tithe box. Nothing happens, good or bad. Well, after what we experienced in the Tower of Magi, I just have to try this again. Nope. Nothing changed. This old man wears the elaborate robes of his office as if he was born in them. He looks at you serenely. He says simply, "I am Ahonar, spiritual guide of the Anama Church." What can I say? I founded the Anama Church. I watch over it. I help my people in their struggles. My life has been devoted to my teachings, both on ethereal and practical matters. Would you like to learn of the beliefs of the Anama faith? The Anama are not a cult. We are not freaks. We simply believe that the use of magic creates more problems than it cures. Not an unreasonable belief, considering the state of the world today. We are always looking for like-minded people to join our church. Those who follow me came to this harsh and unforgiving isle to tame it. Unfortunately, just when we were starting to attain some comfort and safety, the plagues began. Fortunately, I have many loyal helpers. Totally not a cult. At my right hand is Lockhart. His office is nearby. And of course, there are many other loyal members of the faith, and we always look for more to join. He is pleased. We might be convinced to allow you to join our church. There are more benefits to this than you might think for those such as yourselves. First, you should learn of our beliefs. Travel the Isle of Beil. Speak to Anama priests. Learn how we think. When you think you've learned enough, return. And perhaps you may be able to join. Aha. My beliefs include that holy energy should be refined to the point where it can fully substitute for magical energy. For this reason, I teach holy prayers to all I can, for a small donation. Would you like to learn a few useful prayers? Please? Buying for Stephen. Cure party very yes. And now I'm broke. Which is unfortunate because level 4 priest spells have several good things. Like Curse All and Firewalk. And also things I don't use so much. A child. A young boy, about 10 years old, moves quickly about the temple, sweeping the corridors with a large broom. He bows. I'm Deland. I work for the Anama. Someday I'm going to be a big Anama priest. You should join. They do a lot of good. Go talk to Ahonar. He's the high priest, and he does all the good things. When the disease killed my parents, he took me in. He turns very quiet. I miss them. I don't want to talk about it. Fair. I'll travel around and heal disease and kill monsters, just like Ahonar. Ahonar kills monsters? Anima members only, please. And yes, sulfur and sparks. Surely that is divine energy. Of course, divine energy also gives us flame strike, so nyeh. Reading room. Enjoy the literature. Visitors welcome. Office of Lockhart, Anima Administration. Willing to bet that both of these books are just Faith of the Anima. Indeed. Just a nice little office with a view. And nothing in the desk. Locked door. Not so locked. This person might not like that I just unlocked that door. The Anama Temple Library contains, surprise surprise, an incredible variety of religious tracts. There are pamphlets on all manner of Anima theory, from the horrible things caused by magical spells to ways to live comfortably without them. And you are all the same. The Anima member moves quickly on. Oh, there's even more. The bookshelf is filled with musing and notebooks on esoteric elements of Anama religious theory. It's probably all very interesting to someone who isn't you. You meet an elder priest of the Anama Church, wearing immaculate robes and taking notes in a thick journal. He seems pleased to see you. I'm Father Lockhart. Greetings to you. I am High Priest Ahonar's chief assistant. I look after the daily affairs of the church. Plus, I look after our young charge. I look after young Deland. He's an orphan. The roach disease took his parents. Very sad, but we'll raise him right. Supplies, healer movements, running the hospital, that sort of thing. Don't get me wrong. I have strong beliefs about our faith. Would you like me to share them? Father Lockhart says, when we arrived on the Isle of Beil, it was a tangled thicket, awash with monsters. With hard work and courage, we cleared this land and made it our own, battling goblins, ursagi, cold, and disease. We did all this without the use of a single magical spell, only our efforts and holy prayers. Doesn't this show that the spells of mages are not necessary to perform great deeds? Yes, I suppose. The Anama member nods approvingly. You have the feeling that what you said has been noted. Nothing has honored me more than my days working with Ahonar. His energy and wisdom are infinitely inspiring. Be sure to speak with him. It's a rare opportunity. Hall of Meditation. And another Anama members only. I could actually join the Anama. I probably won't do so on this playthrough. But they do have some serious perks if you prefer prayers to magery. Anyway, that's just about all for Shayder, and now where is Judith? Where is the one wandering NPC I actually do want to see? There she is! So, hey Judith, I heard you know about an artifact. She looks annoyed that you've heard of her knowledge, but decides to make the best of it. It's true, I have stumbled upon the location of the Lost Fury crossbow, an intensely powerful artifact. I will divulge its location for a mere 1,000 gold pieces. Oh. She grins. It's 1,000 gold, you know. No less. I currently have 7. Why must treasure hunting be so expensive? Anyway, tune in next time for the sewers of Shayder. And until then, have a good one, everybody.